What's happening, YouTube? Thanks for stopping back by the channel today, right here with the Rustbeltmechanic. So if you haven't been paying attention to the channel, I actually went to Sema this last week. So you guys have been watching a couple of pre-recorded videos to be able to get you through the week, but now I've gone to Sema and I'm going to be sharing with you guys my opinions on how it went, what I did, and the whole experience as Sema as a whole, what I thought, because it was my first time going out there. I didn't get as much footage as I would have really liked to, but I'd like to at least go through what I thought about it with you guys. So Sema 2019 was one of the biggest and best experiences of my entire life. We ended up flying out of Ohio here right around midday on Monday, so we missed all of like the pre-game, all the setup, all the hustle and bustle and mix beforehand in which they do to set up this massive event for everybody that's flying into Vegas. Vegas is a gigantic place to start off with. And with having this many people packed into that tight place in that convention center, it just makes you feel that much more of a small thing when it comes to the big picture of Sema and Vegas as a whole. So originally what I wanted to do was make a whole nice big long production video, kind of showing you the step-by-step, day-by-day, get you some pictures along the way, some video from all the different fun booths, all the neat nifty things that have come out, both in the tool industry, the truck, the diesel world, because there's so much stuff there that I really wanted to be able to follow. But I was quickly turned around in my thinkings of that by how large the actual place was and how little that you're actually able to get done in that amount of time. So I originally shot this intro here thinking that it would be, you know, kind of a day one scenario of what I was going to be doing. So guys, day one here at Sema, and it's bright and early morning. Love seeing everything here on the strip. Everything is all hustle and bustle. Big time stuff going on. We actually had breakfast this morning. Got to see Jay Leno as a speaker. Cool stuff. We got lots more coming. As you can see, I was in my SP Tools gear right there, and that's because I was getting ready to go down to the SP Tools USA booth, be able to hang out with them. I was lucky enough to be able to hang out with them each day for about 2 or 3 hours each morning. You know, it was nice being able to see their booth, some of the new things that they were trying to bring to market, some of their new electric tools that they had to be able to show all the customers. Was really cool, really neat thing to be able to do that and meet everybody that was coming in to see this new tool brand. There's a ton of tool brands there, and just in that one single building, which they were in the Westgate Plaza building, there was probably another 60 to 70 other tool and or shop equipment vendors in that one building. Now, just to give you guys a kind of size perspective on what it was like there, that was just one of the buildings. There are like 5 or 6 of those buildings there. The buildings there are roughly the size of 6 to 10 football fields, right around there, depending on which building you went in and went through. They're just gigantic. So in each one of those 6 to 10 football fields, each exhibitor has as small as a 10 by 10 spot, but most of them is like 10 by 15, 10 by 20, right around there. So there's that many. There's like thousands and thousands of people there, thousands and thousands of companies and exhibitors being able to bring their newest, latest, greatest things from what they're working on, bringing them new to the market. So realistically, each day, you know, I kind of had from noon till about 3-ish or so to be able to go out and look around and see what everybody had to offer, because each one of those days in the afternoon, it was awesome enough that I was able to go to a couple more tool vendors and be able to do some introduction and some live videos that you guys saw this last week, and do some giveaways for you live from the event as well. It was really awesome, and it was really great for those vendors to be able to do that for me and my subscribers, and it was really great, but it also cut down on a lot of my time from being able to see everything else. 3 hours in the day on each one of these days is not a lot of time. So to put it into perspective, when I ended up walking from the SP Tools booth, which was in the very first, the Westgate building, I had to go all the way to the upper South Hall, which is where the Milwaukee Tools booth was at, because they were a new exhibitor. That was the new exhibitors, I guess, area. And they were at the very far end, and that's the longest building. It took me roughly 45 minutes. This is just straight from one place to another, not stopping, no lunch, no, elevators, traffic, nothing like that. Just me walking, hoofing it straight from one place to another. It took me 45 minutes to get there. And that was just enough time to be able to get some, I guess, pregame there with the guys over at Milwaukee, kind of set up the booth, get some pictures, get some things out on social media to let you guys know what we were doing that afternoon, which left roughly an hour-ish, hour and a half to be able to walk around and see things. So I got a couple of small little snippets of video each day, but it was just not enough time for me to walk around, get to see and meet some people, and do videos at the same time. It kind of sucks. At the same time, it was amazing being able to jump around still and see some of those people, but I didn't get to get it on film. But here I will leave you with a couple of snippets from what I was able to see, some of the really awesome cars that I saw throughout a couple of the buildings, and maybe a little clip from Jay Leno's initial breakfast seminar that he did on day one.
It's amazing how big it's gone and how legitimate it's become. That's the really exciting part to me, is the cars are now not only faster, they handle better, they stop better, they get better gas mileage. As you probably know, there's been a couple of pretty high-level accidents in the last couple of months involving high-performance cars. And a lot of times you see the press, they love to get on that. We hate cars, aren't they dangerous? But then they look at them and they realize, whoa, that chassis is better than the original chassis. That motor gets better mileage than the original motor. Those brakes sound a lot better than the original brake. And it tends to calm it down. So I'm real proud of the industry, but not just making it all performance, but making it performance with safety.
So as you can see, that was some pretty cool stuff that they had there to offer. The vehicles they had there was just, they were in a ballpark of their own, the league of their own. They're just amazing vehicles, and Sema builds in general are just awesome to see. Everybody puts their entire heart and soul into every single one of those vehicles, and it was just great to see. Hopefully this next year I may be working on something that'll be coming down the pipeline to be where we might be able to make a Sema build for the coming up this next year. Who knows? You guys need to tune into the channel. Keep an eye out coming up here in the beginning of this next year to see what we end up pulling out of a hat on that one. Well, if you end up wanting to go to SEMA this next year, make sure you plan ahead of time. It's not one of those things where, oh yeah, let's just, quickly go on out there. It's not an open to the public event, so you have to be part of the industry to be able to get into it. You can't just be some guy who wants to go there and just to check things out. You have to be, you can get there in, I guess, a whole bunch of different ways. You can go there for one of the vendors, one of the people or the companies who are actually having a booth. You could go with them. You could go in as a media pass. If you go in a day or so early, you can get your media pass set up. You need to apply for these things way far in advance, by the way. It's not something that you can just plan last minute. So you can get a media pass. You can also get a buyer's pass, showing that you guys have a shop or any kind of need for equipment to be able to go into this thing just as a buyer, because a lot of these booths, they're not there just to show, they're there to sell stuff too. They're there to get some of their brand new amazing products out on the market and actually being used. So a lot of those vendors and booths, they pay a lot of money to get those big things to their booths, but they don't really want to have to take them home with them. So they end up selling all these things, and the shipping and receiving market there at SEMA that week is banging too, because they are shipping stuff out and in left and right all over the place, because these people are wanting to buy all the amazing things that are shown. And at the end of the, I guess towards the end of the entire show at SEMA, people end up buying up whatever is left in those booths, usually for 50% or less, maybe around there off, depends on what kind of deals you can get with what vendors, because they don't want to have to ship those things back. I won't blame them, to be able to get their new products out. This is the greatest way to be able to do that. So you can go there as a buyer. Like I said, guys, I do apologize for not getting you a ton of footage from SEMA this year. The little bit that I was able to get was really cool stuff, but just not enough time to be able to get everything in. I was able to meet a bunch of amazing people and be able to connect with a lot of great companies that hopefully coming up in the near future, I'm going to be able to bring you lots more of amazing content from some of those people that I ended up getting to talk with. It was a great experience, and if you get the chance to go, I would definitely recommend it. Just be prepared ahead of time and bring lots of water and walking shoes. Get water once you get there. Make sure you keep drinking, because it is so dry there, it's ridiculous, and you're going to be walking. I think the smallest amount of steps that I ended up walking there in one day was right around 15,500 steps. That was the smallest amount. I walked over 20,000 steps on the second day there, which is freaking nuts. It was a great time, and it was well worth it, but boy was I beat. And then when I come back to Ohio, I got to deal with this crap. And then, not a day later, I come back from Vegas and I get this bull crap. What is this? What is this? This is crap. I want to go back to Vegas. All in all, great experience. I would definitely recommend that you guys, if you get the chance to go out to SEMA, make sure that you take that opportunity and go and check it out. That's about all I have today to be able to share with you guys on the SEMA subject today. We've got a lot more things coming up here on the channel. Later this next weekend, I am going to be going up to Wisconsin to check out the guys up there at Kodiak Truck and Ryan's Diesel Service. Me and Truckmaster are going to be up there. He's actually up there doing a couple of things ahead of time, and we're going to be going up there to check out some nifty tools, some great things that they have coming down the line, as well as seeing some really great new diesel content, stuff that's new to the market. Hopefully you guys will be seeing for the first time. Really neat stuff, so make sure you stay tuned to that. Make sure you turn on the bell notification so you get notified when I come out with new awesome content just like this one. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and as always, you guys stay awesome.